Good morning, folks. At least it is for me. It has been a few days now since the biggest reveal of the year, probably in years, for the first-person shooter space, and there is so much hype around this game. I made a video last week about everything that we had to look forward to in the upcoming reveal and some things that had been confirmed and some things that had been rumored, but now we've pretty much got it all. So in this video, we're going to break down what we've seen and try to contain our excitement, even though my excitement levels are through the freaking roof. And myself, and I know a lot of people in the community, you know, we were looking for a reason to just kind of pump the brakes. But I'm telling you, man, after I watched this event, it was really hard to do that. And that's because of exactly what I just said. They just showed up with it and said, here you go, play it, show it, do it. You know, whatever happens, happens. And it looks freaking amazing, dude. Like, the trailers compared to the gameplay itself are pretty on par. I mean, we're looking at something, you see, you know, it's been playing on the screen. We're looking at something that looks like what we got in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, but just newer, better visual fidelity. The game looks awesome, dude. The level of destruction in the map, the dynamicism of Battlefield that we've always loved, where it's just this constant, ongoing, active war. Sometimes it's a little chaotic and you don't have a clue what's going on around you. There's tanks and there's jets and there's buildings collapse and it's mayhem. You've got all this variety in the maps. You've got the classic Battlefield game modes, the Conquest and the Rush, and they even announced some new game modes. As you can probably tell, I'm pretty freaking hyped about the game. And overall, man, I think this represents something huge. I really do, because there was a lot of, issue there for just a little while because of, like those leaked rumors or whatever from the EA call, talking about how they had some internal struggles, and that maybe was more on the single player side of things. I don't know, but that struck a little bit of fear in the hearts of gamers, because as content creators and gamers, but content creators for sure, where you have to kind of try to figure out how to wrap, content around these types of things. And I'll tell you right now from first-hand experience, I've been creating content here on YouTube for about 2 years. I've been streaming live for about 1 year. And growth is tough, man. Growth is tough in this day and age. It's a long journey, a slow and steady grind, and it makes it so much harder when the genre that you want to play, it just isn't giving you what you're looking for. And I think this really does represent a huge turn, because EA, DICE, all these guys and gals, they knew they had to do something different. They knew they had to bring back something that the player base wanted, because the player base had largely turned against them. And we've been stuck with the likes of Call of Duty Warzone dominating this space, and the memes are flooding the freaking internet now, and people just weren't and aren't buying it anymore. It's transitioned into something that went way too far, because they had no check, they had no balance. They could do whatever they wanted because there wasn't anywhere else for people to go, generally speaking. And this, man, has really stuck a fork in the fire. Battlefield 6 is coming back strong. By all account, for everything we're looking at, man, this game, I'm not going to say it's bringing the first-person shooter genre back to life, but this game is bringing something we desperately need, especially as a content creator, where I actually have a game in the genre I want to play that I'm freaking thrilled to play and make content about, man. And that's huge, because that's really been a struggle. This game is setting a tone, a precedence, and it's making it known loud and clear, and that message is rippling and reverberating through the community. It's everywhere. It's on Reddit, it's on Facebook, Twitter, social media, all over the place. This weird rainbow marijuana river that we've been in with Call of Duty, people just don't want it anymore. They're not interested in it anymore. And that's not to say that Call of Duty should die and go away, and believe me, I'm no fan of Warzone at this point. It's just gone way off the rails. What they have needed and what this represents is competition, stiff and stout competition, where players' voices are heard and the changes that need to be made are made. Effort is put in, creativity is put in, optimization is put in, all of these things. are put in. It's not just regurgitated AI generated content that has nothing to do with the quality of the game and instead has everything to do with pop culture trends. That's not what we're looking for anymore, okay? It just isn't. Now, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is slated to release this year, and personally, I really don't think, I don't know if it's gonna do well, man. I don't know if they'll consider pushing that date back. Battlefield 6 has an official release of October the 10th, and Call of Duty normally releases in November. I don't know, man. If I was the execs, I would almost be thinking about changing the date. I know that probably can't happen because they always have multiple titles in development at a time, but I don't know, man. I really don't know what it's gonna look like for the Call of Duty franchise, at least in this particular year, because this is something that we've been waiting years for, and it looks like they're gonna come absolutely blasting it out of the freaking park, man. I don't know how Call of Duty really stands to fare this year, to be honest. Battlefield 6 is also set to include an anti-cheat, a kernel level anti-cheat apparently called Javelin on the PC, which if you're having a conversation about anti-cheat and Warzone, those two things don't even go together. It's practically non-existent, which is another reason why I think this game is, if it works, gonna absolutely freaking take over. It's just a much needed departure, man. We got a little bitty snippet, a tiny little preview of Firestorm, so it does seem like Battle Royale is 110% coming. It did look like as well that the rumors of the map being in California are true. The little clip that they played, it very much looked like California. You know, the palm trees, the sunny valley, got the pool. The only one thing, and I'm not tripping about this, the only one thing that kind of sort of was like, with the preview of Firestorm was when the soldier drove through the pool in a golf cart. Now, I have no problem with a battle royale at scale having vehicles of any kind, especially if it's in California. Obviously, it's probably just a vehicle based on the environment, but I definitely don't want that to be an indicator that the battle royale for Battlefield is going to lean more toward the arcade side of things by having people drive around in goofy things like golf carts or mopeds or Teslas or something because it's California, and instead of, you know, that more grounded sort of what we expect to see from Battlefield multiplayer type of experience. That's just purely hearsay. That's just a matter of opinion. I really love the fact that they're going to be testing that in Battlefield Labs first. I think that's a huge win instead of just releasing it. I think they absolutely should test it in Battlefield Labs first. I think that's something that every game these days that's a live service game should be doing. Have your test server, have your test environment. That's sort of that closed off place where you can go in, make changes, iterate, see how it works, and then when you know that it's ready, you release it. We've got Portal coming back. Portal's going to be there. Personally, I never spent a lot of time in Portal. The biggest thing that I got out of Portal was just being able to go back to like the Bad Company 2 maps, Battlefield 3, 4 maps. I played some of the quirky game modes, you know, that was like World War II versus modern day. You know, they showcased some of the Portal creations. It just looked like an only up version of Battlefield. It's neat, it's fun. I mean, you're basically given the chance to be like a game designer and then have your creation shared with the world. So it's cool, it's neat. I don't think Portal for me personally is going to be like a huge selling point. I just really want like a strong base game. I want a strong base experience, and then having things like Portal to mess around in, or just, you know, play around with what other people create, you know, that's cool too. I think it has its place, but I'm really more just looking for this base experience that we're seeing here. So all in all, folks, I could really rant and rave about this all day. My excitement for this game is at an all-time high. My excitement as a gamer, a shooter gamer, my excitement as a content creator to finally have something that I really want to play, that I'm passionate about playing, and not just, okay, well, this is new, or this is a shooter at least, or we'll try this, and just sort of sludging through content creation and live streams. This is like the game that I will be playing. Like, this is what my live streams will become, and that's a great feeling. You know, Call of Duty versus Battlefield versus every other shooter, you know, that's always going to be there. And again, it's not that I think that Call of Duty should die or that I think that Call of Duty, you know, we just never need to hear about it again. It's just simply the fact that, again, like I said before, we need games like this that come along that have been crafted, people's voices have been heard, they're willing to test and then iterate, they're willing to make the changes, and they deliver something that they promise they're going to deliver. And Warzone, Call of Duty has just become so stagnant and lifeless at just this rinse and repeat repetition of the same content we've had from that game for years now. And on top of that, it completely separated itself from this military tactical, whatever the heck you want to call it, type of game into something that just was more or less a pure profit, storefront, goofy, whatever machine. And that's all it really was. I mean, you know, you get an update every now and then, not much really goes on with the update, some balancing changes, if you can even call them that. The cheating thing is a joke, the weapons, whatever. But if we're being real, what got more attention than anything else was just the store and the battle pass. That's what got all of the attention. And people just don't want that anymore. So Black Ops 7, Modern Warfare 4, whatever comes next for Call of Duty, whatever comes next for Warzone, or maybe Warzone goes away and Blackout makes a reemergence. Battlefield represents, it's a stake in the ground for gaming where a company is coming through and delivering when they know they had to, and they're giving something that people want. And they're providing competition in a genre that desperately needed it on a AAA level. We've had a lot of great games that have come out like Fragpunk and Ready or Not, Splitgate 2 was fun, but these games do not compare to the budgets and the player bases that games like Battlefield and Call of Duty represent, even Apex Legends. It's fixing to hit its 26th season. They're thinking about making radical changes to the whole game too. So you can see how things have to shift, and in order for those things to shift in the right direction, you have to have IPs of this caliber come correct. We'll wrap it up there, folks. I am very excited about this game. I hope that that's apparent, and I hope that when we get the game, it's equally as much fun to play as it is to watch, because everything I've seen from every creator so far and this event, it just looks awesome, man. And I've heard nothing but good things about it. Everyone I've watched playing it is having a great time with it. I pre-ordered this game. I never pre-order games. I know a lot of people probably don't agree with pre-ordering, and I'm right there with you 9 times out of 10. I will say, do not pre-order the game. I caved, man. I caved. I had to do it. I don't think it's going to come back to bite me in the butt. Hopefully not. If it does, oh well. But this game is looking to be like the shooter game of the year, man. And I hope it's everything we want and more. I hope that what we get from Battlefield Labs and Firestorm and the things they're going to be testing and creating there is great. I hope that they stay on top of optimizing and tweaking this game and delivering things that people want, like the class-based system, which we forgot to mention, that is going to be locked to your particular class. That's a big thing for Battlefield fans. So it's shaping up to look like a kick-ass year, man. We're going to have a kick-ass fall season heading into the holiday season with this game, and I'm all here for it, man. I can't wait to play it. The open beta starts next weekend. Excuse me, the closed beta. I do have a key. I will be playing it. I will be streaming it live, and then the open beta comes the following weekend, and we only have a couple months left, man, before we get the full game. So anyway, folks, I appreciate you hanging out, listening to me rant and rave about this game. Follow me on Twitch. Like I said, we will be streaming live here on YouTube and Twitch, the Battlefield beta, both weekends. Make sure to follow me here on YouTube as well. And like this video if you liked it. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below about where you're at with this game. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you online.